Jackie's Extraordinary Day with the Blacksmith, written by the Hahn Sisters, illustrated by Karen Phelps. When Jackie awoke, he wondered if it would be an ordinary day or an extraordinary day. After breakfast, Jackie knew he needed to take care of his horse chores. He went to the horse Shina barn, poured the oats mixture in the feed bag, and carried it to Midnight. As Jackie went to get Midnight's water bucket, he saw Papa at the barn door. "Hi, Papa. I'm almost done with my chores. Isn't she a beautiful horse?" he said proudly. "Yes, Jackie, she is beautiful. When you're done with your chores, we need to go see the blacksmith," Papa reminded. On the walk over to the blacksmith shop, Jackie asked, "Why are we going to the blacksmith shop?" Papa explained, "We are going to see Henry because he makes the horseshoes that we need for Midnight." When they walked into the blacksmith shop, Jackie was hit with a wall of heat he had never felt before. The loud clanging rang in his ears. Henry, the blacksmith, was working on a horseshoe at his anvil. He looked up between hits with the hammer and gave a wink to Papa and Jackie. "What brings you to my shop today?" Henry asked. "This boy needs 4 horseshoes, Henry," Papa replied. Henry giggled and asked, "What size shoe does your horse need, Jackie?" Red in the face and a little embarrassed, Jackie looked at Papa. Jackie stammered. Papa pulled out one of the shoes from his coat pocket that Henry made for Midnight. Relieved, Jackie exhaled and said, "Henry, would you be able to make 4 shoes just like this one, please?" Henry smiled and said, "Very well. I can have them ready for Midnight in a few days." "Henry, can I look around your shop?" Jackie asked. "Of course," Henry responded. Jackie became mesmerized by the fire in the forge and was no longer paying attention to Papa or Henry. The fire kept burning with the motion of the bellows. The special bituminous coal burned hot and smelly. A bucket and shovel stood by the forge. On the workbench, horseshoes, hinges, and door latches waited for their finishing touches. Jackie recognized the horseshoes and door latches. "Hey, that's like our door latch, Papa," he said, surprised. Jackie was very curious about the tools hung carefully everywhere on the walls. He wondered if Henry knew exactly where every tool went and what its use was. On the walk back to the horse barn, Jackie kept talking about all the tools hanging on the walls, how hot it was, and how surprised he was to see a door latch just like the one in his house. Papa just smiled. "Jackie, when Midnight is shod, I think you can take your first ride alone." Jackie was thrilled to hear the news. "Yippee! I've been waiting to ride Midnight on the timber trail." A few days later, Papa and Jackie went back to the blacksmith shop. Henry was still putting the finishing touches on one of Midnight's shoes when he motioned for Jackie to come and help with some hammering. Jackie, a bit nervous, picked up the hammer and pounded. The loud clanging startled him. The hammer bounced. The horseshoe flew. The hunt dog yelped, and Papa caught the horseshoe with one hand. Giggling with Papa outside the blacksmith shop, Jackie said, "Thank you, Papa. I really learned a lot and can't wait to ride midnight." Papa smiled and nodded. As they walked, Jackie couldn't help but notice the iron parts on the wagons as he walked past. He thought about Henry making them. He stared at the iron railings on the porch steps and wondered, how long did it take for Henry to make that? And each door handle on all the houses, stores, and shops reminded Jackie of his time at the blacksmith shop. Later that day, Papa replaced Midnight's horseshoes, and Jackie was able to saddle up Midnight and ride into the timber. That night, Jackie drew, as he always did. He drew about his extraordinary day with Henry at the blacksmith shop.